what I love about Portsmouth is the fact that they have a lot of rich, stable neighborhoods. Lots of culture here, lots of heritage, but more than that, some really hard-working people, who put in the good day's work and really enjoy moving this city forward.
Portsmouth is such a diverse city. I love the history. I think that a lot of people in the community, actually a lot of people in the United States, don't realize the importance of Portsmouth. From way back to the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, everything. The history here is unique and it's real. I'm an architect. I love buildings. So the building stock in Portsmouth is amazing and undervalued and underrepresented by the community.
Portsmouth has a lot of history, and that's one of the things that I really like about it. And around that history is a lot of really diverse neighborhoods.
What I love about Portsmouth is the small community feel, and that everybody works together. When you have to get something done, you're pretty close to your neighbors, or you're pretty close to neighboring communities where you could come together to do something.
We're located right in the center of Hampton Roads, so that gives us a lot of opportunities. I really, really like the fact that people in Portsmouth are so friendly and generous. So people and history and waterfront, all good.
Since the city is so geographically positioned in the middle of Hampton Roads as a region, and we feel like there's a lot of opportunity to enhance, of course, our already existing corridors, like the downtown corridor, the airline and turnpike corridor, along with, of course, being part of Victory Village, Victory Shopping Center. But I think what's the biggest talking point was the connectivity, either by intermodal, which is of course the light rail, and then considering BRT as potentially reaching westward and increasing some more density down along the airline corridor, what I think was probably one of the biggest things we had talked about.
The waterfront development. Right now it's been misused, and things are happening. I like what's happening in Scotts Creek, some of the new initiatives to develop some of the waterfront, to have access by the public to the waterfront. I would like to see some more sustainable efforts done on the waterfront, but I think that as people get a vision for the sustainability with the recurrent flooding that's happening, I think there's going to be amazing things that are going to be developed.
We saw a wonderful opportunity for the waterfront area in Portsmouth, and also the industrial area that's in the Airline Boulevard area, meant to say. And in addition, there is tremendous opportunity, a tremendous asset and an opportunity for our ports, the Portsmouth Marine Terminal and also APM.
I think the greatest opportunity is to maximize the historical value, make it a destination that you want to go see because of the historic value, and also a place that you could live in and enjoy that history as well.
Some really exciting stuff came out of our conversation tonight. First off, we want to take Canary Island and turn it into a solar energy farm, and that way we can have utility scale solar here, lowering the carbon footprint of the city and making it more resilient as well. Secondly, the city itself is kind of a food desert. I mean, we've got 7-Elevens all over the place, but very few urban gardens and community gardens. So we want to make sure to have an urban agriculture center located here as well, and allow that to fan out throughout the city, eliminating those food deserts and making food local.
It felt really good to have the mix that we had at each table. And the different people from different backgrounds, and to be able to listen to what other people in the city of Portsmouth. I discovered an area in Portsmouth that I never even knew existed. So that was just the dynamics and the mix, and yeah, it was very exciting, and just the energy of people really being hopeful for Portsmouth.
It does take a village, as I always like to say. So when you're in the room with people that are talking the same language, we've obviously, people said, "Oh, I remember seeing your name on Facebook," and ironically, they live 3 streets away from you. It's quite interesting to see how everyone interacts, and how everyone also has the same basic goals in life. So only having 4 dots of red and green for each person, when they started going down on the map, it all pretty much you could see it build on that cluster that everyone was talking about. So there's a lot of I guess you could say common focus.
It meant everything. Like I feel like it's the only way to do things, to develop and to grow, is to have input in from everyone, so that we're all the ones that are going to be utilizing the development, and so our input is going to be paramount to it being utilized and successful for years to come.
I think this is great. It just affirms the quality of the people here. Everybody was very involved and engaged in the process. And I think that's really important. I hope that as the process moves forward, that all the ideas, the great ideas that the folks at my table and other tables had, will be incorporated into the final plan.
One element that makes me feel hopeful that these talks and for this comp plan was work is because your promotions and your engagement that came across to us kind of came across like very interesting, like you were interested, not just kind of parochial, and bleached. You were colorful and saying, hey, let's all come together and have some talks together in a circle. And I think that attracted us to think that it would actually be listened to and used.
It's a great time to really look forward to what's coming in the city.